Hello everybody, welcome to Karmic Palms. Let's discuss why is it important to have a good mind line and good fate line. They're the same they're the same different sides of the same coin. Why is it important to have a good fate line and a good mind line? Okay? Now before we do get started, please subscribe, and if you want to get your palm analyzed, do WhatsApp us, it's in the description box. Now, why is it important to have a good fate line and a good mind line at the same time? Okay, now I'll tell you why. Now, let's say your lifeline is here, okay, your heart line is here, your mind line is here, and your fate line is here. Now, this is something that we see in every palm. This is elementary. Now, why is it important to have a good mind line and a fate line? Why is because when you see a fate line like this, okay, now you might have a very good fate line. That doesn't mean that you're going to make it in life. I've seen so many people with blessed fate lines who are still struggling. Why? Why? Because the mind line is not very strong. The mind line is either short like this, or broken like this, or they have too many islands here in the mind line. When you have a mind line which is broken or has islands or it has disturbances of any kind of growth, what this does is this will not let you think. You will always struggle of thinking. Yes, opportunities will come into your life, but you don't know what to do with it because your mind is not ready. Okay, your mind cannot absorb, cannot analyze, cannot think straight. So because of that, what happens is your opportunities are always cut off. Every part of the way it gets cut. So you do have a good fate line. You are supposed to reach the heights, but because the mind doesn't allow you, you will always struggle. Okay? And if there is short headline, like a short mind line like this, some people have it to this point here. When you have a short, what does it mean? This means you have tendencies of making quick decisions. You have tendencies of not thinking things through. For example, if any contract is to be signed, you will not be able to think straight. You will not read the fine lines. You will just go by word because you don't have time. You think that you don't have time. So you say, I'm very busy. I go with what you're saying. I trust you. Things like that. You don't read the finer prints. And then what happens is down the line, you start suffering. Somebody will stitch you up or do something because you didn't read the contract properly. I'm just giving you an example so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. So people like this, they always tend to have quick decisions, When there's a business, something to do, they see some business, they get excited. Let me also put in some money and get started. And 3 months down the line, it comes down. And here at this point, you give up immediately. Why? Because you can't run it. Because you didn't think things through. You didn't think about the logistics, the operations, the this, the that, the how to pull in, cut, nothing. Just blindly invested because you got excited. And then 3 months to 6 months down the line, you want to give up here. So things like this, your short mind line will make you do. You will not be able to think clearly. And new ideas will not come in. And even if somebody gives in a new input for you, you'll immediately say, I don't believe it. I don't like it. Why? Because it doesn't fit your narrative. Okay, so you will immediately shoot it down. You will not like it. Things like that. Why? Because you are not ready to listen. Your mind will not allow you to listen. So these are the signs to see if you have a good fate line but a weak mind line. Okay. Now what happens if you have a beautiful mind line? Let's say you have a mind line which goes all the way like this and you have it here like this here. But your fate line is all broken. You have broken fate line like this, or you have a fate line like this with all cuts. Then what happens is you have the opportunities, you have the willpower, you have the brain, you have the mind line to think, to analyze, but you'll always be short of funds. Because the minute you do something, some obstacles will come and cut it off. Or there's a gap here, there'll be a long period of lull. There'll be financial crunch here. Then what happens is you will not be able to think straight again. So what you do is you have the idea, you want to launch it. Let's say you come up with an idea. You have done your research, you have done everything. You know that this business is going to work. Okay, but then what happens is you don't have a strong fate line. So what this means is you'll always face obstacles, financial obstacles. Financial crunch will be there. You have seen so many brilliant people with no money. You must have seen them sitting somewhere, they talk to you and things like that. They have a brilliant mind, but there's no funds. Why? Because the fate line is weak. So this is why I say the mind line and the fate line are the same, two different sides in the same coin. Okay, they need to be together in sync for you to do well. Otherwise, what will happen is you will constantly, if one fails, then the other one will take effect, and immediately that will start affecting your life, either mentally or financially. So it's always important to have both the mind line and the fate line to be strong. If you want to see a successful person's hand, if you want to see both in sync, for some people you must have seen, you must have heard, when they have suddenly from nothing, they start something in life and they become very famous, they become very rich, they become all the luxury starts coming into their life. Why? Because they have everything in sync. Okay, so that's very important. Also, you need to make sure that your mounts are in positive, your Rahu is in positive, okay, and if you're doing business, your Mercury is in positive here. You don't have any temper issues here. You need to see your mass mount and make sure there's nothing in your Ketu, because these are your initial stages when you're going to start building your life. So you have to make sure that this is in positive and not negative. All this needs to be looked into. Okay, I just wanted to share with you about why a mind line and a fate line is important at the same time. I hope this helps, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and if you want to get your palm analyzed, do WhatsApp us. It's in the description box. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Bye bye.